Hello and welcome everyone to Liam's Lyceum. I'm your host Liam, aka Himvar, and this is I always do it the wrong way. This is my brother, my younger brother actually. This is Arvezek, or rather his name is Cullen. Um, but I thought it would be fun to do the siblings tag again, but with a different brother. So this is the siblings tag part 2 or Mark 2. Mark 2 probably is a better way to say that today. So hi Cullen.
Hi. I'm here.
Okay, so if you watched the previous videos I did with my twin brother Shannon, him and I live near each other. Colin and I do not anymore, so he is far away, and so
Sure am.
but he was grateful enough to come on and put his face on camera once again for the world to bathe in its glory. So
I live
yeah.
on camera. I'm the one and
Yes.
only Arvezek.
Yeah. No, we Cullen and I used to stream on Twitch, and we were Hemvar and Arvezek, so which is why I keep the name Hemvar when I do my videos. But anyways, yeah. So there are 10 prompts. We're just gonna go through these and see if we have anything to say. So, because I mean, well, like, I guess you could say historically, but generally you read less than I do. Which is the case for
Generally,
all
I don't read.
my brothers. So
Generally, I can't read.
yes, that's right. He can't. No. Okay. So, anyways, let's see. Though we can answer question 1. I know that. Question 1 is a book both you and your sibling have read.
I think there's only one.
Is it just the one?
Horus Heresy?
Yeah, the Horus
That's it.
Rising. Yeah, it's Horus Rising, right? That's the name of the
Yeah,
first book.
that's it. What else have
Is
we
that
ever read?
it?
Dude, what else have...
I
Yeah,
guess
I
that
don't...
probably is it, huh?
I mean, no. We've probably read, like, Cam Jansen, Boxcar Kids,
Oh, well,
whatever.
yeah,
Stuff
that I
like
guess.
that. Clifford.
You didn't read anything that I read when I was younger?
I've not read any of the RuneScape books.
You didn't read
Since you
RuneScape?
posted that earlier.
Yeah.
I
didn't read
don't.
like Aragon or anything?
Nope. Actually, we are in the middle of reading that right now. Funnily enough.
Oh, really?
But,
No, wait, we did
yeah.
read Steelheart. We both read Steelheart.
Okay, Steelheart. That'd probably be easier for me to talk about too.
Yeah, and then have you read any more Sanderson?
Nope.
That's it. You literally only read Steelheart. Okay.
I haven't started Firefight yet, and
Okay.
I am supposed to do. I can't even remember what it's called. The one with like metallurgy and stuff.
Oh, Mistborn.
I'm supposed to do Mistborn relatively soon, but I also am like into sci-fi right now, so I'm not going to do that.
Yeah. Yeah, you've been reading some stuff I haven't read yet. So
everything I've read, you haven't really read.
Yeah, that's true. But I mean, like, that's true. All right, but
stuff you want to read.
But well, some of it is stuff I do want to read. It's just stuff I don't want to read as much as other stuff. But we have read Horus Rising and Steelheart, so that's 2. That's more than 1.
That is,
I mean,
barely.
Like, yeah,
and they're both pretty short books too.
Yeah, they are actually. That's true.
I guess I don't really know how long Horus is because I don't have a physical copy of it. But Steelheart is short.
Yeah, Steelheart's short and really fast paced, and then Horus. Yeah, I do have a physical copy of Horus Rising, but I listened to it as well. But it's like 300 pages, so I mean
that's pretty short too.
It's not.
Steelheart's around 300 as well. It's like 200 something.
Yeah, I don't even remember. It's been a while.
I think I googled it like the other day.
Oh, really?
I think it was like 290 something.
Well, so I remember you really liked Steelheart.
Steelheart was amazing. I read it in one session. Nice. Which is rare for me.
Yes, I can imagine. It's rare for me these days, but I mean, like...
I think it's the only book that I've read in one session. Well, that's not true. I read Lord of the Clans, the Warcraft book, in one session.
Is that a golden one or someone else?
I'll Google it.
Or
I don't
whatever
remember.
Her name is.
It's Christy Golden.
Yeah, is that it? Okay.
I don't think she wrote this one. She writes a lot of the newer ones. This one's an older one. But it is hers.
We need to read more of her stuff. It is? Okay.
It is her.
So cool. So I've been meaning to read. She writes a lot of that out. I don't even know what you call that. It's like universe fiction.
Like, yeah, she writes like most of
IP
the
fiction.
She writes most of the Warcraft books like about characters. So she wrote the Lich King book. She wrote the one about Sylvanas. She writes like all the ones that are like biopics basically of these characters.
Yeah, so she wrote the first Ravenloft book,
That's cool.
which you would probably like, to be honest. But that's the only one I've read by her. I do have one other book by hers that is not an IP fiction. It's just something she wrote. It's called like Instrument of Fate. But anyways, we answered the first question, I guess, which yeah. So and anyway, question 2 is a book you want your sibling to read. Well, you read The Dark Eidolon, right? You were telling me that, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that was one I gave you because I wanted you to read that, obviously,
Yeah, you
even though
gave
I
it to
haven't
me,
read
so.
it. So now that you've read that, I'm not 100% sure, honestly. I think you might still enjoy the RuneScape books. I mean, they're definitely not new now.
I
But you're still
started
into RuneScape more than I am.
the Mauritania one that I can't remember the name of, the very first one. I read probably a chapter and I was like, yeah, okay. And I never finished it. I did not like it. That's how quickly a book has to get me or I won't read it.
Feel it, bro.
That's why I'm into short stories mostly.
Well, short
Like
stories
I've
are
read
good.
a lot of I have multiple. So the Clark Ashton Smith?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's all
CAS
short
stuff.
stories. That's easy to read. I liked most of that. I haven't read most of it actually. I liked most of what I've read. Some of it's a little interesting or hard to tell what he's talking about because he talks like an old guy.
Well,
This one is
little.
all like short stories, notes from
I
underground.
can't even.
It's
Oh,
Dostoevsky.
yeah, Dostoevsky.
Yeah,
Okay.
everything in here was good. Everything in here was good. There wasn't a bad story in there. I mean, some of them were like a little weird or not as good as other ones, but none of them were bad.
Wait, Notes from the Underground short stories?
Yeah, Notes from Underground is only
Oh.
like 100 pages by itself.
Okay.
No,
I
wait,
see.
book 1 is like 50, book 2 is like 100. So that's
Okay.
not a short story, but there is a bunch of short
Ah,
stories in there, like
I
Dreams of a
need to.
Ridiculous Man and things like that.
Okay. I haven't read any Dostoevsky, and I don't even have a copy of any of his stuff, and so I feel like that's probably a crime against Shannon.
It is. I have so
And
many Dostoevsky
so
books, and this is the only one I've read.
yeah, I could probably get that, so at least so I could have an introduction, since it's not typically what I read, obviously.
Notes
So
from
I mean,
Underground, I would say, based on just the other books in that short story compilation, Notes from Underground is not a good introductory book to Dostoevsky. It's not like anything else he's written. It's interesting. It's a good book, especially since it's only 150 pages. But
his brother Karamazov is
yeah,
Dostoevsky,
exactly.
right?
Yeah,
That's
so
the
he
one
has
Shannon
like
wants me to read.
yeah, and
So.
I have it. I have a copy of it right here, but it's a lot longer. It's like 400 pages or 500 pages or something, and it's all like actual like thinking the whole time, like using your brain, which I don't want to do all the time. So in fact, I rarely want to do that.
Brain.
So
Understandable, bro. So I mean, I could list several that I'd probably like. I mean, like I think you'd like the Conan stuff too that I've read.
Probably.
Like the original like Robert E. Howard stuff.
Probably.
And even some of that Robert E. Howard stuff that I haven't read, he did write some stuff I think that is just straight up more like cosmic horror rather than sword and sorcery.
I like sword and sorcery and cosmic horror. I haven't had any like sword and sorcery books, but I like the video games from the setting and things like that.
Yeah, I'd have a lot of stuff I'd want you to read, but I don't want to go into me listing books for 2 hours. So, but
I mean, the only one that I could think of for you was The Moon is a Harsh Mistress, which I already told you about. So
yeah, we were talking about that the other day, and that's not. Is that very long? It's not a very long one, right?
It's 300 and
okay, well,
300 and it's like 380 or something like that.
I guess
I don't
some
know.
of those Heinlein books are a little longer than some of the other sci-fi classics.
But a lot of it is like
not long still.
It's not that long. Like the pages will be like dialogue, and it's one line is like 3 words. The next line is them responding. It's another word, and he doesn't put the lines of dialogue in order.
Oh,
yeah,
interesting.
Yep.
Okay.
So it's not that long. I finished that one in like 2 sessions. So.
Yeah. I do want to read Heinlein, but haven't.
As of right now, that's the best book I've ever read, in my opinion.
Oh, really? You didn't say
it was
that
amazing.
the other day.
It made me cry. It made me cry like 3 times. I've never cried over a book.
Well, I have, but it doesn't happen that often.
Yeah. It's all like, it's about revolution and stuff, the moon getting its freedom from Earth and stuff like that. And so, I'm into that anyway. So of course it made me cry, but
Okay, no, I didn't. I see. I don't even know what it was about, though. Honestly,
that's what
so
it's about.
wow. Okay.
It's
No, that's
actually
pretty
awesome.
cool. That is one I've been wanting to get to. I don't think I own any book by Heinlein. So if I were to get
I
one, that'd
when
probably
we
be it.
talked about it, I literally ordered my copy of Stranger in a Strange Land, and it got
Yeah.
here like the same day. Let me grab it real quick. So there's like a set of them, and they're all like his 4 most popular books. So Stranger in a Strange Land, Moon is a Heart's Mistress, Starship Troopers, and there's one other one that I don't know the name of. But anyway, they're all in this style, so I had to get the matching cover. This is the one I got
Oh,
for
I
Moon is a
see.
Heart's Mistress. Yeah, so it's like this.
Oh,
It's cool. It's a cool style. I like it. Anyway, this was like $7 on Amazon. So
it's about what I'd guess. I guess. I don't know.
Moon is a Heart's
Huh.
Mistress was $15, but I had a coupon, so I got it for like 11.
Oh. Hmm. If I were to get Moon as a Harsh Mistress, I'd probably get like an old, like vintage copy or something.
I was actually
But
looking, like, I wanted a matching copy of this for Moon is a Harsh Mistress anyway, but then also there's the original copy of this. This one's like, they said it's 20,000 words longer, which is not true. That's what they said though. And so people
interesting.
are saying it's probably more like 2,000 words longer. But apparently the original copy, they made him cut about 2,000 words out. And then
Oh.
when he died, his daughter, I believe, released this version, which is the newer version. It just has 2,000 extra words. Apparently does not change the story at all, but it's the way he wanted it to be written. So that's how I want to read it.
Yeah, that happens sometimes with publication. Though, as far as I'm aware, that story it's about a Martian going to Earth, right?
Yeah, it's about a guy from Mars taking a trip to Earth or moving to Earth, something to that effect. I haven't started it yet. I got a full-time job
Yeah.
now again, so I haven't had time, but
No, yeah, it sounds interesting. That's one I've heard a lot about actually. But so Moon is a Heart's Mistress though, so I mean I'll keep that noted. That's for sure.
yeah,
So
I can't
I
recommend
can
that
read
book
it
enough.
eventually.
Anybody who's watching this, that is a great book.
Yeah. I know there's one guy I watched and he watches some of my videos that is Jonathan from Words and Time. He does mostly sci-fi, and I don't
Ooh.
think he's read any Heinlein yet actually, which
Oh,
I think
it's so good.
so.
It's reminiscent of like the imagery that he like writes about in the book is so close to like the Outer Worlds, like the video game The Outer Worlds, or
Oh.
or um Fallout. Like it's retro futuristic. It's what Walt Disney imagined when he made Disney World and put in Tomorrowland and made Disneyland rather. It's retro futuristic. It's what like it's so and it like when I read it I just think of like freaking like Soviet cosmonaut propaganda, stuff like that. Like just like it's so good. I love stuff like that. So I've always loved stuff like
Well,
that.
it is. Well, was it from the 50s? I wouldn't be surprised if it
It's
was
from
from
the
that time
60s,
period.
I
So,
believe.
okay.
It's either late 50s, early 60s. It might be mid 60s. I don't know. It's from that time period, but exactly that's what I'm saying, which is why it's so good because it is that. That's what it is. It'd
Huh.
be more impressive if it wasn't from that time period, but I don't care one way or the other.
Not much this style these days, unless you're
Yeah.
playing Fallout, basically.
Yep.
But so, interesting. Okay. And then I know you might have a hard time with this one, but a character number 3 is a character
I
most
got
like
one.
your sibling. Oh, you do got one.
I do
Okay.
have one. It's not a great answer, but it's the only one I could think of. So I chose Fredo Corleone from The Godfather.
Oh man.
Because well he's the only character. Okay, I like to think, and by I like to think I know for a fact that everybody in our family, at least the 4 boys, is a little I don't PG-13 angry little boys. We'll say angry little boys. Liam's probably the least angry of all of us, or at least he keeps it quiet the best. And Fredo very rarely has an outburst or anything, whereas Sonny goes around and beats the crap out of people. Michael kills people for a living. Connie even is an angry little girl, so I guess I'm Connie. No. And then Fredo just does his job, and like he gets upset when people say things to him, but he doesn't ever like Fredo. I cannot think of a single occasion in the book where he hits anybody. There's occasion in the book when someone hits someone else, and Fredo's like, "Yo, relax, my guy," whereas Sonny would have been like, "Let me kill him. Like, let's kill him." So Fredo
That's
Corleone,
interesting.
that's all I got. That's literally all I got.
Hmm. Okay, well that's cool. I haven't read it. Did you only read one of those books? I can't
No,
even
I read the
remember.
prequel, which is not even by Mario Puzo. But
Oh.
it's based on a screenplay that Mario Puzo wrote for a movie, which was supposed to be a prequel to the Godfather movie.
Okay.
So it's by Ed
Huh.
Falco, but it is a Godfather book. I mean, it was written by Mario Puzo. He just took it from a screenplay into a book.
I
And then
remember
obviously I
when.
read The Godfather, and I've read
Yeah.
Omerta, which is technically not. I mean, technically the Godfather series is just The Godfather, but I've read Omerta, which is it's. There's only one character in Omerta that's even in The Godfather, and it's Michael Corleone. But you know, it's not a Godfather book. Although if you look up
Okay.
the Godfather series, it says it's in it.
Oh, interesting. Huh. Well, I remember thinking those are pretty brutal based off what you were telling me at the time you were reading
They
them.
are.
But
They are,
so
and they're
I
a
don't.
little pornographic as well, actually.
Oh.
Oh God, there's like some really. If you're like partial to like getting uncomfortable from some really messed up stuff, like really messed up stuff. I don't know if I should say it, but like it happens relatively early in the prequel book. But there's like something in there that even I think about now, and I'm just like, oh my God, that's disgusting. But you know.
Well, Grimdark is pretty popular, so
But it's a little, Grimdark is like more appealing though, because it's like a joke, it's like,
well,
it's
some
like,
wouldn't say that, but yeah.
yeah, but okay, well, like Warhammer 40K, like, oh, it's these brutal guys who are huge, 8 feet tall and can
Yeah,
crush your skull. Okay, I
definitely a
can
little
take an
absurd.
8 foot tall man crushing a skull, but there's like in The Godfather, there's like a man who like murders his wife and throws a baby in a furnace.
Oh yeah, that's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So like that's a little different. I wouldn't even call that grimdark. I'd call that cringe.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Before I answer the question, I think I just remembered actually. Haven't you read some of A Song in Ice and Fire?
Oh yeah, the first book.
Yeah, so I read that one too. So
Oh, okay, that's
we've
3.
read that. Yeah, woo, we're up to 3. I might get up to 4 by the time we're over, right?
Yeah,
But
hopefully.
okay.
I read some
Anyways,
comic books.
yeah, I haven't. So no.
Uh-huh. We had that one copy of Steel.
Man of Steel versus Man
Yeah.
of Steel.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
Man of Steel
So
versus Steel, who's a different character,
oh,
but
okay. Is that what
yeah,
it was?
yeah.
Okay.
So,
I
yeah,
can't remember.
he's a
It
good
had
guy
like a
now.
hockey, not a hockey. It had like a snowboarding ad on it, I think.
Yep.
Um. Okay. Anyways, I would say so. This one's a little hard because I don't feel like this is someone most like you. At least when I think of you and characters, but the person that comes to mind is Matt Cathan, whatever, from The Wheel of Time. Um, he's basically like he's one of the main characters, but he's kind of like the comedy relief of the main characters. All right, so like the comedic relief rather.
Mhm.
Um, I don't know. It's just I don't know. He makes me think of you some. So yeah, I don't know.
I
A
don't know
little.
anything about those. I haven't even watched the series either, and I don't know
I
if it's
don't.
good.
I don't know. I don't really recommend the show.
Oh, okay.
So, well, I mean, on its own, you might enjoy it,
I'll
but
probably
as
watch
someone
it
who read the
eventually.
books, I don't really enjoy it that much. But um, for reasons. But I'm not even a big fan of the books actually. But anyways, when I look at that question, that's who I think of as Matt from The Wheel of Time. So I think his name's like Matrim or something, but they call him Matt. But yeah. Anyways, okay, and then question 4: a book with a sibling dynamic most like your own.
I already
Uh,
said The Godfather.
okay, yeah. So
It's not in that we're not criminals, but other than that, it's pretty similar. Just in the way they interact in the home setting, it's pretty similar. They
yeah, right. You
they
can.
they jerk each other off. They jerk. They like screw. What? They screw with each other and stuff like that. And then
Okay.
they're also little angry boys. So
uh yeah, okay. No, that's the thing, is like most sibling dynamics, there's gonna at least be like a semblance of real sibling dynamics.
yeah,
Like in most, I wouldn't say, definitely not all. You know what I mean? Like I'd have a hard time if I was looking at any of the sibling relationships in like a Game of Thrones personally. I couldn't really connect that to us. But
I
uh
forgot about that. I forgot there's siblings in that.
yeah.
I forgot.
No, I'm kind of having a hard time thinking about this one because the one that comes to mind is just one I can think of that has like siblings in it, so that doesn't really work very well, I feel like. But I guess one thing I kind of see is I just finished Serpent Daughter by DJ Butler, which is the 4th book in the Witchy War series. And this is kind of spoilers, I think, for the series, so I'll keep it rather short. The main character has 2 other siblings that like they're not really like, she doesn't know she has them at the beginning of the series. So, but spoiler alert, she's got 2 other siblings, and I guess kind of what I'm thinking of, the reason it makes me think of it at least is I obviously have more than 2 siblings, but is she's got like, she uses magic. They're like almost never together. All right. So like she'll be here and they'll be somewhere else. Right. So, but she uses magic to communicate with them. And so I'm just like, she's got this like long distance thing going on. And for the most part, I mean, my entire adult life, and for a good chunk of before that, we were never all together, or at least not all that often. And so I'm just thinking like, oh yeah, I talk to my brothers, but talk to them like this, So I mean, like, kind of like she talks to her siblings through like basically a phone call, a magical phone call, but yeah. Anyways,
NPC contact. The spell from RuneScape.
Yeah, I don't actually remember that spell.
It's a lunar spell.
There's a lunar one?
Yeah.
Okay, that's probably why I don't remember it.
You only use it for rune crafting. There's no other reason to use it.
Cool.
Oh, I guess you can use it for Slayer, actually. Anyway.
Oh, okay. Huh, interesting.